Hey folks, I'm Todd Jones. I'm the host of the podcast Pressbox Access. Here's a clip from my conversation with Jerry Izenberg. Jerry recalls a very sad moment when an old and faded Ali suffered a loss to Larry Holmes.
The Holmes fight was a horror.
Right, in Vegas.
I was in Ali's room the night before the fight, alone, the two of us. And he said to me, "Who are you picking?" I said, "Muhammad, listen to me carefully. I didn't come here to talk about the fight. I came here to tell you I would think this might be your last fight." And like everything else about him, I was wrong. He fought one more time. And I just want to tell you, we had a hell of a ride, didn't we? He says, "It ain't over." He jumps up, rips his shirt open, buttons flying, stands there, arms like this. Son of a bitch, he looked like he did the night before he fought Miston. He said, "Now what do you think?" And I said, "Muhammad, you could have done that in the European health spa." What I didn't know was he'd been taking diuretics for a month. He was so weak when he got in the ring, he could barely lift his arms. I didn't know that. After that fight, which was horrible, one of the most unprofessional moments, I like to think it was the only unprofessional moment in my life. But by the fifth or sixth round, he hadn't thrown a punch, in my opinion. And I'm yelling, I jumped to my feet and I yelled to Richard Green, the referee, "Richard, stop the fight. You're going to get him killed." And then I sit down and realize what I'd done. I mean, how unprofessional was that? And they stopped the fight 2 hours. And by the way, for your listeners' information, it wasn't Angelo Dundee who stopped that fight. It was Herbert Muhammad, the manager, who was sitting 5 rows back and got a gopher and said, "Go down there and you tell Angelo this stops now."
Yeah, what a horrible night when.
All right, now
when Holmes beat him. Yeah,
I gamble, I lose, because naturally that's why these buildings in Vegas still are standing. I sneak into because I go. The guy at the door knew me. I sneak into the showroom, and Sinatra is there as a featured attraction. And by the way, in the sign outside, Sinatra was second banana. It was Ali Holmes on top, and then on that was Sinatra in the showroom. And he's talking about he just came from Ali's room, and he was a great man, and we said, and I don't want to hear this shit. So I walk out and I gamble, I lose. I gamble some more and I lose some more. Now I'm really pissed off at I'm pissed off at Caesars. I'm pissed off at Ali for having fought. I'm pissed off at the fact that Holmes was in an embarrassing position he didn't want to be in.
Yeah, because Holmes loved Ali, yeah.
So I go into, loved him so much that when Ali gave him a black guy as a sparring partner, he wouldn't put beefsteak on it. He wanted everybody to see the black guy when he got home. Because it came from Ali. All right, so I go into the men's room. It's like 3:30 in the morning. An elderly Afro-American gentleman hands me a towel, when I go to wash my hands. I say, "Elderly, today he'd be a kid to me." But back then, he had lines on his face. He was old, and compared to what I was, I was in my 40s. So I said to him, "You mind if I ask you a question?" He said, "No, go right ahead." I said, "Did you bet on this fight?" He said, "You bet I did." And I said, "Who did you bet on?" He looked at me and didn't say anything. And he looked at me again. And then he said, "I bet on the man who gave me dignity." Greatest eulogy I ever heard for Ali, anywhere, anytime.